Do you remember watching an anime and thinking, damn, this is the best thing I've ever seen? Yeah, I've had that feeling plenty of times, so there must be some crazy folks like me out there too. Recently, I started wondering which moments actually fall into that category, which scenes are so impactful that they basically define the genre. So, I made my own list 8 anime moments that hit so hard they will go down in history. Of course, I'll miss some legendary moments here because I'm only talking about 8, but if you have a moment in mind that deserves the spot, drop it in the comments. If enough of you want, I'll do a whole other video. Quick disclaimer, there will be major spoilers ahead, so if you don't want to get spoiled, maybe check out another video for now. Alright, enough talk, let's get into how history was made. Whatever moment I picked from Naruto, someone would disagree, and that's normal considering how many legendary scenes the series has. But the one that left the biggest impression on me personally is my favorite fight of all time, Rock Lee vs Gaara. Maybe it's nostalgia, I was 11 when I first watched it, but the chills I got were unreal. Sure, Naruto has fights with more emotion and better choreography, but in terms of pure hype and memorability, this is peak. Rock Lee was aura farming before the term even existed. Pretty sure Jinwoo learned that from him. The moment Lee dropped the weights became so iconic, it's now a phrase of its own. And the AMVs of this fight literally shaped my music taste. I have always wanted to see a sequel to their fight in Shippuden, but unfortunately we never got one. However, it is what it is, and the only thing left for me to say is that this fight deserves to be remembered forever. Maybe it's becoming a pattern to say this choice is controversial, but I don't care. Some will pick the first Bankai, other will pick Mugetsu or something from the Thousand Year Blood arc, but for me, Ichigo's transformation into Vast World was the most unforgettable moment in Bleach. Part of it is that I didn't see it coming at all. During his fight with Ulquiorra, the strongest espada by the way, I thought someone would swoop in to save Ichigo and the battle would be postponed. Holy shit, I was so wrong. The build-up was incredible. Ichigo transformed right after hearing Kurihime cry. It always reminded me of Sakura crying for Naruto during the Pain Assault arc. So I checked which came first. Turns out they aired within 2 months of each other, and considering that they are both animated by Pierrot, I can only give my praise to this studio and proudly say that they cooked with these scenes, so we can forgive them for Boruto's abomination. Back to the fight, seeing Ichigo completely humiliated Ulquiorra was so satisfying. His rage was the definition of feels good man. I don't know who was more surprised, me, Ulquiorra, Ishida or Orihime, but all were close. For a second, I even thought Ichigo could beat Aizen in this form. That's how dominant he was, which of course is just a joke. Please, Aizen fanboys, don't kill me. This is definitely the most iconic moment from Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood. Hugh's death was the saddest one in the series, especially his funeral. His daughter couldn't understand what was happening, his wife collapsed in tears, and the ending with Mustang's famous line, "Today is a terrible day for rain," was all way too emotional to watch. So, when we finally got to the Fire Alchemist's long-awaited revenge, 44 long episodes, it felt amazing. Mustang's expression, his fury, and the hate in his eyes were unforgettable. The way he treated Envy like an insect who needs to be eradicated, everything was perfect. Even Hawkeye was scared of what he had become. A masterclass in doing a rage scene right. And this moment was the reason why so many people like Mustang at first place, and I can't blame them for that. Even though it's only 2 years old, I'm convinced this moment will be remembered forever. It's the culmination of everything about Thorfinn's character development, his views, his growth, his devotion. Through the season, we saw him go from having no will to live, to finding a purpose, and to reaching this iconic moment. Making an army of Vikings respect you without even fighting, that was exactly what Thor meant when he said that a true warrior doesn't need a sword or an axe. Thorfinn became what was destined for him to be in that exact moment. That here was a character-defining moment. Thorfinn finally understood what his father meant when he told him as a child that no one deserves to be hurt because he no longer had any enemies. If you ask me which scene gives me goosebumps every single time I watch it, it's this one. The build-up spanned so many episodes, and not only did Gon's rage not disappoint, it came with real consequences. We had seen glimpses of his rage before, like when Morel tested him and Killua had to stop him, otherwise the old hunter would have filled his pants. But then at the palace, seeing Pitou healing a young girl instead of acting like pure evil broke Gon's worldview. He just couldn't take this anymore. He was ready to kill Pitou on the spot, even if it meant hurting an innocent. The only thing holding him back was the hope that Kite could be still saved by Pitou. And when she said Kite was dead for good, that was it. Grief and self-blame hit first, but then Gon just snapped. Full beast mode, knowing the cost but not caring. All he wanted was to demolish Pitou, and so he did. If I had to pick one rage moment as the best example to someone who hasn't seen any, it would be this one. Yes, Mustang's moment had everything it needs, but this one had bigger build-up, bigger impact, just like bigger consequences. I know, technically, these are two separate moments, but Erwin's speech is the perfect build-up to Levi's fight, so I'm putting them together. Erwin's speech alone is legendary. I still listen to it when I need motivation in my life. But pairing it with Levi going absolutely berserk and tearing apart the Beast Titan reached almost unreachable heights. Listening to his speech, I was ready to sacrifice myself for him through the screen. Imagine if you are in front of this man. And watching Levi wipe that smug look off Zeke's face was so satisfying. It wasn't even a fight, just a statement that Titan or Warrior, it doesn't matter. For Levi Ackerman, they are all the same. The aura he farmed from that one scene, Jinwoo could only dream about it. And thank God he was nerfed later in the series, otherwise he would have soloed Eren's founding Titan in no time. Everyone talks about how great the ending of Code Geass was, and honestly it's deserved. One of the best, if not the best ending I've ever seen, and all of it hinges on Lelouch's death. He portrayed himself as the ultimate villain so everyone would unite against him. It was the only way to create some kind of peace in a world full of hate and racism. It never felt corny because he really died at the end. He knew that even with all the power in the world, oppression would continue, so his death as the ultimate tyrant was the only way to break the cycle. And all of that was planned by Lelouch himself, which is actually insane. To think this ending even inspired Attack on Titan's finale is wild. But still, this one is miles ahead of Out's ending for my misfortune. The story had some gaps, but the ending was so good that no one cares. I doubt it will be topped anytime soon. This was the hardest choice of all. I could fill this entire list with One Piece moments and it would still make sense, but I limited myself to one per anime and this is my pick from Oda's masterpiece, Robin shouting "I want to live." From the moment she joined the Straw Hats, it always felt like she was a little distant from the crew, but we never knew why. Then we found out about her backstory and she became fan favorite for an instance. That moment was the culmination of her character arc and also pulled the Straw Hats closer together. Hearing her crying "I want to live" gave them stronger resolve than ever. They were ready to go to war with the whole world for their friend. That's why Luffy told Sogeking to burn the flag, to show Robin and everyone else they would never give up on her. Just a really beautiful moment that will never leave my mind and I'm pretty sure a lot of other people's too. Thanks for watching. I know I've left out a ton of moments that deserve to be here, so I'll probably do another list. I picked 8 because it's my favorite number, not because I couldn't think of more. If you have moments in mind, drop them in the comments and until next time.